and welcome to Unscripted. I'm Aaron Lingdo.
I'm Francesca Mascarenis and we are at The Yard.
We hope you're ready for another episode where we're bringing you the latest from the entertainment world.
We've got you the latest movies and music this week,
as well as a new collection from a celebrity designer that's sizzling up the runways. So let's get right to it.
Glamour magazine's Women of the Year list honored a man for the first time in their 36-year history of the annual awards.
The first ever Man of the Year was given to none other but U2 frontman and humanitarian Irish rock star Bono at an event held in Los Angeles earlier this week.
Now, the Glamour magazine generally prefers to celebrate the accomplishments of women, but they just couldn't ignore the fact that a male rock star decides to strongly focus on the rights of women and girls worldwide.
Something very noteworthy that Bono said is that the battle for gender equality cannot be won unless men lead it along with women.
Jackie Chan was awarded an honorary Oscar at the 8th Annual Governors Awards in LA last week.
The Chinese actor and martial arts star finally received his Little Gold Award for his decades of work in film.
56 years in the industry, 200 films and countless broken bones later, the action star proudly accepted his award from Chris Tucker, who is his co-star in the Rush Hour movies.
Roger Daltrey received the 25th Music Industry Trust Award at a ceremony held in London and saw many performances that enthralled the audience.
So the Who rocker received his accolade for his contribution for music and entertainment, as well as all his work with various charities.
Some of the winners of the prestigious award include Sir Elton John, Sir Tom Jones, Annie Lennox, and Simon Cowell.
Ladies and gentlemen, Roger Daltrey!
So I'd like to thank you all, every one of you in the business, all the artists, all my friends that are here that have done it for me. It's an awful lot of begging. Thank you so much.
Electronic Daisy Carnival, popularly known as EDC, is one of the world's greatest electronic music festivals that is held mainly in Las Vegas.
So the Delhi edition that happened last week was the first time ever for it to take place in India.
Popular DJs from around the world and the best DJs from India were part of the lineup, including Alesso, Afrojack, Nuclear, Rehab, and Anish Sood.
The event was a truly spectacular, state-of-the-art production with truly immersive visual and audio experiences, translating into an international music festival vibe for all those who attended. Let's take a look.
If you've noticed, all of these awards shows and concerts that are being organized are celebrating people who are doing charitable work or giving back to society. And let's not forget the first ever Global Citizens Festival, which is happening in Mumbai. I hope you guys did your good deeds because I'm sure it's going to be a spectacular concert.
Well, with Coldplay, Jay-Z and Demi Lovato playing in India for the first time, I'm sure it's going to be a night to remember.
Yup, now let's go and review the movie Rock On 2, which was eagerly awaited since the first film Rock On, and in the sequel we have Shraddha Kapoor, Arjun Rampal and Farhan Akhtar.
Rock On 2 is the sequel of the movie Rock On that won over the audience back in 2008. This film is directed by Shujat Saudagar. Farhan Akhtar, Arjun Rampal, Purab Kohli and Prachi Desai are acting in the sequel as well. The new addition to the star cast is Shraddha Kapoor. Rock On 2's music left me wanting more. I had expected tracks even more refreshing than the last film, but what I heard failed to make an impact even until the end of the film. Shankar Ehsan Loy failed to recreate the magic this time around. The lyrics are ordinary and the only savior is the finale concert in Shillong. The story comes across as a half-hearted attempt in cashing in on a successful brand. There are individual appealing moments that are woven into the storyline, but in its entirety, it seems semi-baked.
I really wish तुम दोनों यहीं शिफ्ट हो जाते।
आदि तुम वापस क्यों नहीं आ जाते?
The story intended to touch upon the issues faced in Northeast India. However, the plot is too superficial to add any value to the storyline.
बस यही एक गाना है जो पूरा है, बाकी सब आधे अधूरे से स्टेज पे परफॉर्म करने लायक नहीं है।
So no problem. एक साथ काम करेंगे उन आधे अधूरे गानों पर।
Shillong in Meghalaya, it's such an apt setting for a movie on rock music. It's called the rock capital of India. But unfortunately, the camera was able to just capture scenes and not the real spirit. Mark Konnings's cinematography is remarkable, but the visual brilliance overpowered the true soul of the place that lives and breathes rock music. Arjun Rampal had all my attention as he was the only one who had the right balance of acting and charisma.
भाई साहब कोई अलग करियर के पीछे भाग रहे?
Farhan Akhtar becomes boring in the process of being gravitated. Shraddha Kapoor is self-consciously meek and submissive,
संगीत छोड़ देने से आपको खुशी मिलेगी बाबा।
whereas Purab Kohli had some light moments, but overall his acting could have been taken up a notch.
जो हुआ से भूल जाओ।
जो हुआ उसकी जिम्मेदारी तू क्यों ले रहा है?
I have to say this out and loud. This movie is not entertaining at all, which could be because of the high expectations that were set by the first movie.
चल राहों में निकल चल
I failed to enjoy the music, the concept, and the grown-up boring actors. The finale concert in Shillong was the only point that had me captivated during the movie. If you want to visit a theatre, maybe unwind, eat some popcorn, catch a few winks, then watch Rock On 2. If you'd like a good movie experience, then I'd say stay home, get nostalgic by watching the DVD of Rock On.
With its disappointing musical performances, the film too hasn't done that well at the opening week at the box office. However, we'll let you see for yourself and decide whether it was as good as its prequel or not. We're taking a very short break. When we come back, Francesca met with the celebrity designer Payal Jain at her latest fashion show in New Delhi.
Hello and welcome back to Unscripted, your one-stop shop for all the latest in entertainment.
Francesca met up with one of the most established designers in India, Payal Jain.
And it really was nice chatting with her and taking a walk down memory lane back to where it all began.
I'm sure it was. Let's take a look.
Hello and welcome. I'm with Payal Jain and we are sitting in front of a stunning collection. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
I want to start by asking you, what was your initial inspiration or motivation to get into fashion designing?
Oh my gosh, that goes a long ways. So I've always dabbled in art. I started sketching and drawing when I was about 8 years old. I grew up with art, music, painting, sculpture. My mother's an artist. And she would play the sitar and she would paint and she would do ceramics and sculpture, and so I've grown up with all of that. And I started my first figure drawing classes when I was 8 years old at the Triveni Kala Sangam. And that, that was like my first love. That's something I will always remember. So that sort of grew with the years. And I was seriously looking at architecture as a career option. And because fashion at that point, when I was looking at choosing a career path, was not heard of in this country. I come from a family of doctors, engineers, all of that, some artists, but the fashion was not the thing, at all. And then so I went through this whole thing of architecture exams and I had mechanical drawing and I loved sketching. And then somebody suggested that, have you considered fashion? Because you love sketching and because you love the drawing board aspect of fashion. And so I thought, okay, let me explore a little bit. And I was 16 when I finished school. My parents wouldn't send me out of the country, so I had to do an undergrad. So through that business degree, I basically explored my love for fashion. Went and visited fashion schools, did a portfolio, did a little exhibition, tried my luck at making clothes. Yeah, so by the time I finished college, I was getting on the next flight to go to San Francisco, which is where I went to fashion school.
Over the years, has your style changed or has it stayed the same?
I think any art form is about evolution and you have to evolve with time. So yes, it has changed, but the basic philosophy and the basic thought that I started my studio with was my love for Indian textile and Indian craft and Indian embroideries, and that still remains, and that reflects in every single collection that I do. If I go back to my college graduation collection, which was 10 pieces, it was inspired by these beautiful old Rabari embroidered cholis, which I had gone to Kutch and found, and I restored them and made these jackets and dresses and all of that out of it. And so I think that part of me still remains and that continues to grow. But I'd like to believe, yes, there is a constant evolution.
And what about your collection this year? What's distinct about it?
I think the one single thread, like I said, is that it's always inspired by India. There's always something that inspires me about Indian textile and Indian craft. But it's a very Western collection. I have worked with whites and blacks, which I tend to always go towards white and black for whatever reason. I try to jump into color and come back to black and white. But yes, I have got splashes of color, so there's a lot of brocades. There's fabrics which have especially been woven in Banaras for it. There's some prints, embroideries. So I think it all sort of comes together to speak one language eventually.
And there are a lot of young Indian designers nowadays. What kind of advice would you give them?
I think one single piece of advice would be, you must love what you do. You must eat, drink, breathe, sleep, love what you do. And only then you can do it, because it's a very tough business. It's a very competitive business. There's no 30 seconds of glory and shortcut to being on page 3. That does not exist. You will have to work very hard. You'll have to love what you do. And you have to constantly reinvent. You constantly have to be willing to learn from your mistakes and have no ego about it and say, okay, I made a mistake, I'll try again. Yeah. And also what you have done once, you don't repeat that. So you have to reinvent your own self. So every collection should be like, when people look at it, yes, they know it is your handwriting, but there's got to be something new that you bring to the table. Yeah. So I think those are the few things that I would say for young people. And there's no shortcut to hard work.
Okay. So you've written a book for these aspiring designers. Is there anything more we can expect from that?
I'm working on a book. What I had written was a school book, was an 11th standard academic book, CBSE curriculum and all of that. No, but what I'm working on now is my experience of the last 2 decades, and I'm just started working on it. So I think it'll be a year before it starts taking form or shape. Okay. But yes, I'm super excited about that.
Thank you so much. I've enjoyed talking to you. And thanks for joining us. Fabulous person, and you can see her genius through her designs.
Certainly, and she's definitely inspiring.
That she is. It's time now to go to London and take a look at the highlights from the Evening Standard Theatre Awards.
The Evening Standard Theatre Awards 2016 took place in London. The awards ceremony was graced with the presence of the Duke of Cambridge, Britain's Prince William, who arrived at the Old Vic Theatre in London, where the ceremony took place. Prince William was seated next to the popular singer, songwriter, composer and musician Elton John, who also co-hosted the awards with Evgeny Lebedev, who is the owner of the Evening Standard. British actor Ralph Fiennes, who is a noted Shakespeare interpreter, also attended the event. Prince William presented the Beyond Theatre Award to veteran British broadcaster Sir David Attenborough for his outstanding contribution to broadcasting.
The Evening Standard Beyond Theatre Award goes to Sir David Attenborough.
The best play was awarded to the theatre production of Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, which was co-written by the book's author J.K. Rowling, writer Jack Thorne and director John Tiffany. J.K. Rowling was also present at the awards ceremony.
No, he goes on a very big journey doing these two plays, and then I think we're done. This is the next generation, you know. So I'm thrilled to see it realised so beautifully. But that's Harry is done.
13 awards were given for theatre performances over the last year, including Best Actor to Ralph Fiennes for his performance in The Master Builder and Richard III theatre productions, and Best Actress to Billie Piper for her performance in Yerma.
It's time now for a break, and when we come back, Aaron will be revealing a new collection by designer Stella McCartney, and of course we'll be checking out what's trending on the movies and music charts this week.
Welcome back, fashionistas. This week we're focusing on the boys as Stella McCartney showcases her latest menswear collection. Known for her sharp tailoring, the English fashion designer left no stone unturned. Inspired by her own father, former Beatle Paul McCartney, Stella showcased a lively menswear lineup. Gentlemen, take some notes. The event witnessed the presence of the finest from the entertainment industry. Orlando Bloom, Laura Bailey, Charlene Spiteri, Anna Friel and Professor Green were in attendance. The collection ranged from playful casual wear to more formal tailoring. From psychedelic flower print shirts and shorts to the finely cut, 4-button, double-breasted, notch-label black suit, men, you're in for a treat of a lifetime. Highlights of a collection are the colorful striped jumper with fringes and thick scarves with catchy slogans printed on them. Pay heed to your outerwear too. It needs to be as chic as everything else in your wardrobe. Check out McCartney's structured wool checkered coat and the fawn-colored trench coats. The straight out of bed look is my personal favorite. Team up striped pajamas like shirts and shorts with bright yellow socks and black sandals. Throw in a trench coat for that oomph factor. Apparently, pajamas aren't just for sleeping. It's raining bomber jackets in this collection. The trick is, you can go all out print from head to toe or wear it as it is. Let texture and embroidery do all the talking. Experiment with quirky prints and embroidery. Show the world that you've got a sense of humor. Are those swallows? Yes, indeed. Knit jumpers and trousers, big pocketed jackets are your essentials this spring. Sportswear and utilitarianism has rarely looked as good as it has this season. And be a rebel with your color choices. Indulge in khaki, ink and racing green. And I'm sure you'll be out of the typical radar. The best recipe, new silhouettes and great playful mashups of masculine shirtings. And as Stella McCartney steps into menswear, I'd say we just found Neverland.
Wow, Aaron, that was a stunning collection. I think I'm going to borrow some styles from there. And before Aaron says I am daydreaming again, you go take a look at the charts this week.
I don't know who's gonna kiss you when I'm gone, so I'm gonna love you now.
John Legend has delivered a message of hope by releasing his new music video called Love Me Now. The flow of the song is inspiring and has meaningful visuals.
Oh, love me now. Thought that we drink it on that day. We were the opposite of breaking up.
Champagne Problems is a music video released by Nick Jonas where he brings his disco track to the dance floor as he sings about his failure after a breakup.
I can't keep you from home, but I'm set on fire to keep you warm. I can't go on and on.
Setting Fires is a video released by Chainsmokers which show men and women playing with fire, and the lyrics burn across the screen, figuratively and literally. Just go to hell, Dil.
Go to Hell Dil is a song from the movie Dear Zindagi. Sunidhi Chauhan has made a comeback with this song, and the music is composed by Amit Trivedi.
पल भर में तेरे हो जाएंगे, कोई इशारा तो करो.
Koi Ishara is a song from the movie Force 2. The song is sung by Arman Malik and the music is composed by Amal Malik. Dil Ke Paas is a song from the movie Wajah Tum Ho. The singers of the song are Arijit Singh and Tumsi Kumar. The song has been redesigned by Abhijit Bhagani from the original composition of Kishore Kumar. So those were the latest releases that will keep you tapping your toes, whether you're at the gym, driving your car, or even in the shower.
And if you'd like to have an easier weekend, then head over to the theatres and catch one of the latest releases from Bollywood and Hollywood.
You are not a raw officer. और ऐसे मिशन के लिए तुम ट्रेंड भी नहीं हो.
जो ट्रेन थे वो क्या जिंदा है?
Force 2 is an Indian action thriller film directed by Abhinay Dio, which features John Abraham and Sonakshi Sinha in the lead roles. The film is the sequel to the 2011 film Force.
ये रॉ के काम करने का तरीका है.
तुम अपने तरीके से काम करो, मैं अपने तरीके से करता हूँ.
ना गलती मेरी है और ना ही तुम्हारी. चाहे कितना भी प्यार कर लूं मैं तुमसे, कुछ मेरी जिंदगी में कोई और है.
Tum Bintu is an Indian romantic drama film written and directed by Anubhav Sinha. The film is a sequel to the 2001 romantic drama film Tum Bin. It features Neha Sharma, Aditya Seal and Ashim Gulati in lead roles.
जो सही लगता है वो कर, जो तुझे सही लगता है उससे ज्यादा कुछ कर भी नहीं सकती.
What are you doing out here, sir? You lost?
Just doing a little hunting.
Desierto is a Mexican thriller film co-written and directed by Jonas Cuarón. The film is produced by Cuarón and his father Alfonso and uncle Carlos. The film stars Gael Garcia Bernal and Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Not everyone is wired for what you're about to do.
So what do they look like?
You'll see soon enough.
Every 18 hours, a door opens up. That's when
Arrival is an American science fiction drama film directed by Denis Villeneuve and written by Eric Essere. The film is based on the short story called Story of Your Life by author Ted Chiang.
What happened to them?
They arrive. And then disappearing without a trace. Witches live among us.
Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them is a British-American fantasy film directed by David Yates. The film stars Eddie Redmayne as Newt Scamander with Catherine Waterston.
Danger. He senses danger.
Shut In is a thriller film directed by Farron Blackburn and written by Christian Hodgson. The film stars Naomi Watts, Oliver Platt, Charlie Heaton, and Jacob Tremblay.
Their next patient is waiting for you in the office.
He's dealing with a lot of grief after his mom died.
Francesca, I think we're done for the week.
I guess we are. That makes me a little sad. You think there's anything else we can go on about?
Well, we could, but we do want them to watch us next week, so we better keep it crisp.
Makes sense. And that's our cue then to leave you.
See you next week on Unscripted. I'm Aaron Lingdor.
And I'm Francesca Mascarenas. See ya.